Welcome, everybody, to the very first edition of He Said, She Said, right here, brought to you by the ATC Network and Legacy Healing Center, excuse me. And if you haven't figured it out by now, because the names are right up there, I'm Scott.
And I'm Nicole.
And we're excited to be bringing this to you guys. First of all, Nicole, I got to tell you, I'm excited because you're so dynamic and you're big like this social media thing and the TikTok and stuff. And
I love TikTok.
Why?
I love it.
Why?
I just love everybody on it. Well, let me rephrase that. Not everybody.
I've heard stories. Not everybody's kosher.
No, there's something called like a troll. But we love them too. We show them love too. I think everybody needs to be shown love. But I love TikTok because I love doing stuff like this, which if they're on here right now, a lot of my TikTok followers know that I absolutely love interacting with them. And just, being a part of their life and having them be a part of mine.
Okay, we've got Mary Kay joining us saying, woohoo, I've been waiting for this all day.
Yes! Hey, Mary!
My friend Lynn Serrano, she's the one who will help me learn how to figure out the StreamYard, and she does a podcast with me on Tuesday nights, as we see it with Scott and Lynn. So she's with us.
That's exciting.
Mary Kay says, hey, my beautiful sister Lynn and Diana Bark.
Hi, Diana.
Is it Bark or Bork?
I think Bork.
It's Bork.
Is it an O?
It looks like an O, but it may be a spot on my glasses. I'm not sure.
All right. Let's just go with Diana.
Diana's with
Diana.
us. Nicole is with us.
Hi, Nicole.
We've got Stacy Eldon with us. Excited, yes. Nicole, you are awesome, she says.
I am. So is Scott. I can't wait for you guys to hear.
This is my friend Scott Ricard. Scott follows a lot of the podcasts throughout the area, and he's a good friend of mine.
Hi, Scott.
We've got, look who's here, Karen Hurley.
Oh, Karen. Hi.
She's, you know what Karen's doing is watching us on a 60-inch TV on YouTube, and so we're like, our heads in her living room right now are freaking huge.
I love that. That's so exciting. Karen, take a picture.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right? Take a picture of us on the TV and in your living room. Just don't get any cats in the picture.
No cats. Scott doesn't like cats. I have 2 cats.
You have 2 cats?
I do.
What are their names?
Kitty and Gray. So original, Kitty.
People don't know that Ant is actually off screen right now. He's kind of sitting in the corner. He chuckled when you said that. Do you find the name Kitty ridiculous for a cat too? Okay, thank you. Yes.
Well, you would think it's original, right? But it's not original. How many people name their cat Kitty?
Well, I don't know. It's like the old Tarzan show. He named the kid Boy.
Did he?
Yeah. And everybody thought, Kitty.
Listen, leave Kitty alone.
My daughter had 2 cats, Simon and Garfunkel. Those are good, strong cat names.
Garfunkel, isn't that a cat on a show?
No, that's Garfield. Wow, you can tell where this is going to go. The whole, she's snorting already. We are in the zone, people. Well, we got a lot of people to say hello to. We're going to just give shout outs. Listen, if we miss you, it's not because we don't care. It's just that we can't spend the whole time reading every comment, but we're going to try to get every comment we can. We've got Michelle saying hello.
Hey. DJ.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes. We got Jennifer Nana. We've got Lindsay. Lindsay's joining us. Hey, Nicole. Karen says hi again. Karen says, yeah, 65-inch TV. We were on a 65-inch. Have you ever been on a 65-inch TV?
No.
Well, maybe people watch TikTok on there.
I don't think so.
I don't think you can. TikTok, that might damage your brain watching TikTok on a screen that big.
You'd really get stuck.
There's some crazy stuff in there, right?
Karen, take a picture.
Take a picture.
Take a picture.
There we go. All right, Scott Ricard. Yeah, he agrees. He says Kitty is original. He thinks it's very original.
It's not. Find out how many other people have the name Kitty for their cat. Not a lot. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Hey, Jennifer.
Okay, just so you know, that's us on the big screen. So we are on the big screen. We just got it sent to us in the text. Thank you, Karen. This is so much fun. Karen. Hi, y'all. Love the Garfunkel, the cat. And this is Sandy, and Sandy is my mom. She's watching us right now.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
All right. So we got so many people joining us. Savannah.
Hi.
Saying hi, Nicole. Diana Bork is my friend's cat is Kitty too. Okay.
Maybe it's not that original.
Maybe it's not.
I mean, maybe it is original.
I don't know. We don't know what we're saying. That's why it's he said, she said.
The
Because
kitty's
I'm going to
great.
say something ridiculous. She'll follow it with something ridiculous. And that's what we're going to have the whole show. What is the purpose of our show? What is it you want to convey to people? And please, if you think we're going to get into some like really diatribe of some real important message everybody's got to hear. No. I mean, but we do have a point to what we do.
So I think it's going to be a little bit of both. Nothing crazy like that.
Right.
But a lot of the people on this right now came from my TikTok and they already know how I can get, which is sometimes if it's a topic that I'm passionate about, like recovery,
Yes.
or addiction, I do dive right into it. So I feel like our podcast should be a mix of addiction recovery.
Yes.
Living life
Yes.
to the fullest.
Absolutely.
Confidence.
Yes.
Self-worth.
Absolutely.
Right? The times we didn't have any of that. What do you think?
I'm all about it. And I'm so glad that you live out, like my other show, Live Out Loud. You live out loud with your recovery, and
Absolutely.
that's good. I'm the same way. I'm in recovery, and I want the show to be about all those things. I want it to be about, listen, recovery doesn't have to be from addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Recovery could be from bad relationships and bad choices. Recovery could be from a difficult family life. Recovery could be simply from years of awful self-talk that put you in a bad place. This is all about reinventing yourself and becoming something different and realizing that every one of us has a phoenix in us that's just ready to rise, but you got to be what you want to be.
Absolutely.
And you know what? The number one way to get there is to laugh.
Which we will do on this podcast.
We will do lots of that.
I think we already have.
We're-
I
it's
snorted
close to
3
she's-
times.
Three times. We got the snortometer
3
going. We're gonna. That's what it's gonna.
It's going to.
But it's all about just reinventing yourself. We want to hear your stories about reinventing yourself and about where you've come from and where you are now. And more importantly, how do you enjoy life today?
Yeah. Or even they could, the whole he said, she said, right? Let them ask questions.
Ask us questions.
Yeah.
Put us to the test.
We could start right now. You're going to get a male perspective, which is the really cool part about this, and a female one. And you're going to, I'm sure, hear us agree a lot. But then there's going to be fun times when we have to agree to disagree, which I'm not always good at.
Are you not good at that?
I mean, I am, but I'm a little.
Do you feel like
controlling sometimes?
okay? So when you walk away, if you don't agree with somebody, you walk away feeling unfinished, like you really needed to convince them.
Only with Anthony.
I heard a grunt from the other room.
Only with Anthony. But there are times that my controlling defect comes out and I want you to agree with me.
Yes. Listen, I understand. I get freaked out if people don't like me that I don't like. Somebody I don't like, if I find out they don't like me, I get upset.
I used to.
I want everybody to like me. But as far as being right, I've gone through that. I went that a long time, was going through that. I wanted to be right. I had to be right. And then I found out that being kind is just so much better.
Yes, or being happy. So
Being
somebody
happy.
said to me one time, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? And I said, oh, shit, I would rather be happy.
But for a long time, you thought they were the same thing, didn't you?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought if I was right, I'm happy.
exactly.
But I've learned not. So that will be fun. I want to disagree with you. Someone give us a question.
Let's throw a few people up that are commenting, and thank you for keeping up there. This is my friend Karen from Crazy About Costumes in Fort Lauderdale. Make sure you check out Crazy About Costumes. She's been a supporter and just a good friend of mine. Whenever there's football on, anything going on, music, she's been working her butt off at the Broward stage and screen. She's been doing their costumes for the Cats shows and all this. Crazy About Costumes, great place. Check it out sometime. And Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Emma says hi, Nicole. Debbie Bettendorf. Hello, Scott and Nicole. Debbie is she was on my show last night, and I will be on her show tomorrow at 12 noon.
Ooh,
So she's been podcasting for a while. Great lady.
that's fun.
Bruce just is up there with no comment.
Hi, Bruce.
Okay, Bruce did not show and say anything. Okay, Lynn says, "Oh my goodness, we need to have her on our show Tuesday night. I love her already." All right.
Hey,
She's
Lynn.
going to have a guest appearance.
I love you too.
And okay, now Debbie's asking a question. You
Oh,
ready?
yeah.
Here's our first question.
Okay.
What percentage of folks with drug and alcohol addiction stems from childhood trauma, in your opinion?
Okay. So the he said is first, so you go first.
Oh,
Ah.
that just means you couldn't think of an answer fast
No,
enough. You're going to put me on.
I
Oh, you got.
have an answer.
As far as an actual percentage, I can't say for sure. And in defining childhood trauma is also something that's very difficult to do. What I will tell you is that early life trauma probably contributes to 50% of addiction, possibly 60%. Now, there are other traumas that come along the way, because there are also people that come from perfectly balanced backgrounds and everything else that through circumstance of one thing or another, they end up falling into addiction. But I think there's a direct correlation between probably about 60%.
My turn.
Your turn.
So my opinion, right? This is just my opinion. Is when it comes to childhood trauma linked with addiction, that it is close to like 90%, if not more.
Wow.
When people hear the word trauma, I've found out through experience and through my own personal experience, when at the beginning of my recovery, when I heard trauma, I thought it had to be this big event. And it's not always that, right? You have to think of yourself as a 6-year-old little kid. A 6-year-old little kid, a big traumatic event could be asking mommy to buy the ice cream cone when the, ice cream truck passes and mommy says no. That could be considered traumatic for a kid. So I feel like people in recovery, if you talk to them and you ask them about their trauma in their childhood, you're going to get a 90% answer that there is some sort of trauma that is linked to their addiction.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Because I think we could probably find trauma wherever we look.
Yeah.
I think as far as a direct causal relationship, might be less than 90. But I will say that, yes. We could say this. We could say this with surety. How's this? Everyone who is suffering from addiction, 100% have trauma to deal with.
Absolutely.
Whether it was childhood trauma, adult trauma, there's even a traumatic experience when you start to quit, because you're giving up the one thing that has been giving you life for years, your best friend. So there's almost a grieving, a loss that happens. So trauma is 100% across the board, but how you define childhood trauma really kind of depends, I guess.
Yeah, well, it varies.
It varies.
Well, that was a good question.
That's a great question.
Yes, let's keep going.
Diana's a great question.
Oh, thanks, Diana.
Lynn says, smart girl. She can keep up with you, Scott. Okay.
I sure can, Lynn.
All right. Debbie says, I agree.
With who?
Yeah, I know.
Me.
You got to take.
Oh.
You got to take a side. She's my friend. You're not allowed to take my friends and make them agree with you on the first show.
Deb.
Deb,
we need an answer.
She's doing
Deb.
the girl thing. This is girl
Deb.
speak. This is girl speak. She's doing the sideways thing. If we were at a restaurant, they'd be excusing themselves to go to the bathroom together right now.
We would.
Oh,
we
my
would.
God.
And we would be talking about this question and how. All right.
You were right. We live in a traumatic world when my mother is commenting.
We sure do, Mom.
We do. And my mother, recovery, by the way, 42 years.
Woo! Mom.
42 years.
Oh, that was loud. I hear it.
That was loud.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. Don't worry. This is our show. Who
Okay.
cares?
Woo! Mom. Yes. I love it.
Nicole. Hey, Nicole. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Let's see. Kimberly. Yes. Trauma so often different for each person.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what one person describes as a trauma, another person describes as a Tuesday. I mean, there are different levels and people are affected differently.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So Debbie's not going to qualify. I believe it's the higher percentage. So she's going with you. So she goes with what she said. You've won the first round.
1-0. Just saying.
Am I going to need a scorecard for this?
No.
Is this what we're looking forward to?
No.
This is good, though. This is good.
This is great.
Okay. According to National Institute of Health, 66%.
Karen has your side.
That leans towards me. Now,
Karen has your side.
But again, statistics can't tell the truth about this stuff.
Because you can't level out the trauma.
Yeah.
Like we just said, it's different for everybody.
Exactly. So I think it's different, but again, I think we'll all agree. Once you fall into that addiction pattern of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, even addictions, codependency, sexual addictions, gambling addictions, all those things that kind of destroy the lifestyle addictions that go along, you are traumatized in some way. So we all have traumas to deal with. Let's see. Kimberly says, I love our Nicole. Yeah.
Thanks, Kim.
You guys don't have to pick sides. You don't. You could love me too. You don't know me, but you can love me. It's
Oh,
all
look,
right.
this is a good one. Look, Deb's got you back now. Look at this. This
Deb
is a good
says,
one.
trauma or a Tuesday. Scott, you're hilarious. Thank you. Thank you. Well, if somebody can make a joke out of trauma, it's me. Okay. How's that? Okay. Diana says it's a game. We're in a game.
We're in a game?
We're in a game.
Okay.
But that's what's going to keep us going. A lot of time trauma gets stuck in the nervous system.
Majority of the time it does.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. It is. People don't realize trauma actually has a physiological effect. It's not just psychological.
Yeah.
There is a physiological. Our brains are rewired. Neuroplasticity. We could talk about a lot of different things, but our brains are rewired about trauma.
Yep.
Okay. And finally, this is my friend Karen. This is another Karen who I worked with. She works in the treatment industry, and I've been working with her for years. She goes, I don't believe that childhood trauma is 90% with an addiction. She feels like it's lower. So you're with me.
There you go, Karen. 2 and 1.
All right. And Nicole Young, 24 years recovery. All right, Nicole.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. So more questions, people. Bring them to us. We're not afraid to answer them.
Be about recovery, addiction. What else did we say?
Anything. Sports. I don't care what you talk about.
Football.
Kimberly Kwan says she was laughing at her yelling, "Woo, mama." Scott, this Canadian likes you already. All right, thank you.
Aww,
I'm glad
Kimmy.
I got the Canadians on my side.
Right? Is that the right way to say
Yes,
it?
it's the right way to say it.
Okay.
Canadians are just like New Yorkers, though, right?
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, in New York,
Yeah.
somebody messes with you, like, hey, get off the freaking car.
Yeah.
In Canada, they say, get off the freaking car, eh? It's almost the same thing. They just put the A at the different side of it. That's all. It's the same thing.
Kimmy, is he right? Kimmy's my favorite Canadian. Just saying.
You're my favorite now, too.
There we go.
Since I don't know any others. Michael J. Fox. Who's that? How do you not know who Michael J. Fox is?
If I saw a picture, maybe.
Did you watch
I'm
TV?
I'm really bad with names.
When you were a kid?
I did.
What was the name of the show?
I don't know.
Family Ties.
No. Was that before my time?
Back to the Future.
I saw Back to the Future.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got
But
Parkinson's
I'm bad with
now,
names.
though. You're bad with names?
Yeah, and I didn't know the other show. I think that was before my time. Even though I did watch Cheers. Remember that show, Cheers? No.
Yeah, we used to watch it on the cave walls when it was projected up there. Wow. You're not that much younger than me. Wow. Now we're going to have an age thing going on too.
It's all right. Anthony and I have that going on all the time.
Yeah, well,
that's okay.
It's really cool. Somebody else, he gets to sit back and laugh at somebody else for a change. Say, you see the shit I go through? Man, good thing you're lovable, huh?
I'm so lovable.
I know.
Thank God.
Well, you weren't always, though.
No. Jesus, no. I even used to hate myself. That's how bad I was.
Yeah. How important is it to have fun and enjoy yourself now? I mean, your life is about recovery. Your life is about helping other people and reaching out. But the fun part, how important is that? Because I think we don't talk about that enough.
It's very important. I feel like because of my recovery, life got better, right? I'm a mom. I got 2 beautiful kids. I'm engaged. I have an amazing job. And sometimes we forget just to have fun.
Yeah.
And the moments that I do take advantage of it and I choose to have fun, I sit back and I say, wow, I need to do that more often.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Jessica, my friend Jessica Montero is saying hello, and hi, Jessica. Okay, we got another question here. This is from Nicole, and she's our 24-year sober person. Yes. She's saying, what type of recovery programs do you like? She says, I think there has to be a community after you get out of programs. Oh, absolutely.
I agree.
You take this first because this is right up your alley.
So for me, and this is, let me just make this clear, I'm not here to endorse, right, or promote or any of that fancy schmancy stuff. This is just my experience with this question. I do believe that having a community, a support group, a foundation when you get out of some type of treatment is very important. I truly don't believe that I would be sitting here, God willing, coming up on 10 years in recovery if I didn't have Narcotics Anonymous in my life. That's just what I choose to do. It has what saved my life. I'm not Once again, I'm not endorsing it or saying that it's going to work for everybody, but I think it is very important. I also know for me, with my experience, that anytime I left a treatment, because I've been in treatment 4 or 5 times, anytime I left and I didn't utilize some type of recovery after plan, I relapsed and I ended up back in another treatment. And the first time that I decided to make a meeting when I left and get a sponsor and do all that, scary stuff that they tell you to do, like I said, God willing, I'll have 10 years.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thanks,
That's great.
thanks.
Listen, I agree. As far as the type of recovery programs, listen, everybody's a little bit different. I don't think there's one answer for everybody. If there was, the whole world would be a lot easier to deal with.
Absolutely.
We'd send out one manual, one book, and everybody would get better. That's not the way it works. Some people need intensive care. Some people need long-term recovery, long-term programs, inpatient. Some people need, maybe it's not the inpatient. Maybe they need more fellowship. But the one thing we'll all agree on for sure is that after any kind of treatment, you must build a fellowship in your life. It doesn't have to be the 12-step program of AANA or OA or GA or SLA or any of the other A's. There's IA too, which is Internet Anonymous. That's out there.
No, it's not.
It is.
Don't tell Anthony that.
Look it up. Internet Anonymous. In their meetings, can't make this shit up. They're all online.
No way.
Seriously.
This is a joke.
It's not a joke. Look it up. You'll find out. You need a fellowship. You need people that you can talk to. You need like-minded people because you're on a journey that is quite unique to you. And to find somebody that parallels even a little bit is hard enough.
Yeah.
So if you could find like-minded people who all want to improve, all want to do good things, the journey becomes better. Listen, I can't just go talk about my addiction. I can't go talk about, drinking heavily and being an abusive parent and doing all that stuff. Whoever's next to me at Denny's, I can't just do that.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah, well, they lock you up for that shit. It's like yelling at city buses.
I do that too.
But you find people who are supportive.
Yeah, and you also need to, addiction and recovery is so much more than putting down that drink or drug.
It's changing your life.
Yeah, it's changing your attitudes. It's changing your behaviors, your people, places, and things. And for me, when I got out of treatment, like I was sober, right? I was abstinent. The drugs were down for 30-something days, but I was still really fucked up.
Yeah.
And if I didn't change that, my experience shows me I go right back to doing the same thing I was doing beforehand. So I think having a community after you get out of some type of treatment is beyond important.
Your community's up to you. It could be family. It could be church.
Yeah.
It could be a 12-step program.
Recovery.
Celebrate recovery. There's smart recovery. There's all sorts of things out there. If you have a religion you want to get back to or some sort of spiritual following. And if you never had one. Find something new to experiment with. There's so many things out there. But what you cannot do is you cannot do it alone.
Absolutely.
If you had the answers to do it alone, you would have done it already.
Yep.
So I think Einstein there. I think it was Einstein who said you can't fix a problem with the same thinking that caused the problem.
Ooh.
We need new thinking. You need new ideas. That's why you need healthy people around you.
So
that's a great question. Great. Thank you, Nicole.
Ooh, keep them coming. This is fun.
Kimberly Kwan says, yes, we are kind of alike. I think she was the New York person or the Canada and New York is kind of alike. Nicole says you're too young.
I'm too young?
Yes.
I'm too young.
You're both fabulous. Thank you, Karen. Crazy about costumes. I'm telling you, just go check out the costume. It's so much fun. Debbie says I'm horrible with names too. Let's see. Boy, we got so many people joining in here. Let's see if we got any questions here. Scott, I know Nicole's story from TikTok. What's your addiction and recovery story? Well, I don't want to go into a full story, but I will, just so you know, I grew up in an addicted household. And I became addicted to alcohol quite early. And I actually found recovery early in my life. I was around 15 the first time I came in.
Wow.
And stayed sober for like 12 years. And I did everything. I mean, I did a lot of great things. I had some great people I got sober with. Karen was there then. And my mom was part of that group. And we had Denny and Chris and Tim and Eddie and all these people. We all rode motorcycles together. And for years, we had a really good time. The problem I had was I never quite really took my disease seriously. I was young and I thought, well, it's something separate. I mean, you would have thought I caught it from a toilet seat in Grand Central Station. I didn't really make it a part of me. I eventually relapsed, which caused turmoil in my family I was married with kids at the time, and my wife and I both were sober. We both relapsed together, and our kids grew up in that for 10 years. It was a 10-year relapse. It wasn't 5 minutes. And in that 10 years, I did everything from visit jails to be in the hospital to losing every dime we had to everything you could think of, all the bad stuff. And I finally came back in, and I've been sober now. I'm coming up on 18 years now, and it's the only life I live. And I'm no longer look at it as it's a disease that's separate from me. It is me. Addiction is me. It's my thinking. It's my actions. It's my reactions. It's my emotions. It's everything. So if I overhaul me, the addiction no longer has a place. I'm still an addict. I'm still an alcoholic, but it really doesn't have a place in my life. Recovery has a place in my life. Absolutely. So it's a lot different now. Luckily, my daughter's clean and sober as well. I got a normal daughter too. I don't even know what to say to her. I've got, and I will tell you that my wife and I, we separated, but I was still hoping to help her, but she lost her battle and died from an overdose a year and a half ago. So my kids lost their mother to this disease, but that's my story. I spend my time. I've been on TV and radio. I've been in Philadelphia market for years. Nothing satisfied me until I started working with other addicts and alcoholics and trying to get them help. And so my business partner, Karen, who was there at the very beginning with me, and she's been sober 42 years as well. We started this company, Addiction Training Center, and all of our time is spent trying to help people, trying to help other people so they can help people.
You guys helped me. I'm certified.
You are certified.
I am.
You are certified and certifiable.
Yes.
But yeah. I mean, you took the course. You know what we're all about. We're all about connecting people with people who need help.
That's how Scott and I met. We met. They were doing a training to become an interventionist, and I sat in on behalf of Legacy, and I said, you know what? Let me get trained to do this. And I walked up to Scott and I introduced myself. I heard that he does podcasts. Some of our staff members at Legacy have sat with him and did podcasts. And I said, I would love to be on one. And we got to talking, and I brought up TikTok, shocker. And I told him that I do lives, but I've never done a podcast. And a lot of you guys suggested that I did one. And here we are. He said, she said, right?
Absolutely. And for those of you who got a little confused, we apologize. By the time we have our next show, which will be in 2 weeks, we're going to do it every 2 weeks until we get running. And then we're going to probably end up every week. But we have our own Facebook page, and it will broadcast to that Facebook page by the next time we do it. So it'll be He Said, She Said podcast on Facebook, but we'll get to that. But anyway, we do have a question here. Since we can ask anything, oh boy, that's always scary. Is Mary Kay, is she one of your followers?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mary
is it okay to ask a guy about his personal goals on the first date?
Oh. Do you want to go first because you're a guy?
Well, since I'm a guy, I really don't have answers for those kind of questions.
Okay. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first. What do you think?
So the first date, no, that's just my opinion. Maybe a third date, right? I would just get to know the guy on the first date. I feel like if you ask a guy that question, they're going to get maybe intimidated by it, or maybe like get scared or freak out. I would just have fun, right? We talked about having fun. I would just have fun on the first date. And then the more dates you have, if you like the guy after the first date, then you get into a deeper question, like what are his goals?
I'm gonna totally agree. You nailed it. You nailed it because
high five.
You nailed it.
We agree.
Yeah, we did.
This is fun.
Really,
right?
When you ask somebody about where they're at the moment, that shows an interest in what's going on with them.
Yeah.
When you ask somebody about the future, it's kind of like that. Well, I know who you are now, but are you going to get better? Yeah. Is there something better than this? Or
do you want marriage and kids? And,
yeah.
They might take it that way, no?
Yeah. And I think it goes both ways. I think it's for anybody. It shouldn't just be for guys. When you meet somebody, you should be interested in their present first.
Yes.
Okay. So generally it goes like this: present, and then you start to pepper in a little bit of past and a little bit of future, but you do that as you get to know each other. But really what you want to do is you want to make sure that you, especially on that first date, whether you're a man or a woman, make sure that you're showing interest in who they are right now as they sit before you. Because when you take the time and when you start like future tripping or going too deep into the past, you start to feel like, but I'm here. I'm here right now. So stay in the present until you get comfortable enough that you understand who they are right now, then ask where they want to go.
Absolutely.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, we agree.
We agree.
We agree. Can we high five every time we agree?
We can high five every time we agree. I'll have to get like a little sound machine in here
like
and just have like we'll have an applause and we'll have a boo whenever you say something wrong. Oh. Okay, we'll wear that button out. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We're gonna boo when he says something.
She's gonna boo. Fun is so important. I totally agree. Jessica XO right back to Cyril, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Agreeing with us. People are agreeing. Looks like we have Paul is saying, until you release what this means, this is not a selfish program, but I come first. Took me 25 years, but I didn't use or drink while I was trying to figure it out. 30 years and counting. Well done, Paul.
Awesome, Paul.
30 years and counting.
That's great.
Okay. Donna is my friend. Donna I have a question for you too.
Oh. Where? Dot.
To be continued when? Next show? Let's see if we get to it. Too young to know who Jamie Foxx is.
Jamie Foxx. I know who Jamie Foxx is.
Yeah. Nobody's too young to know Jamie Foxx.
I'm just bad with names. That's it. But I know who Jamie Foxx is.
Okay, Nicole, what do you think is a disease?
Why do you?
Some think it is, or why do you think it's a disease? Some say it is, some say it isn't. All right.
Me first? You first?
I'll go first on this one. Who gives a shit? I mean, I'm being honest. I could look at it from certain perspectives and look at the changes that happen in the brain. The brain is rewired when you're introducing alcohol and drugs into it. So there is a physiological change caused by an outer entity. That's basically what a disease is. A disease is when something from the exterior or even from the interior attacks and changes your body. So we can kind of go with that. The difference is, though, is there's no other disease on the planet where you could say, I choose to recover, and you do. So that's why I would never, ever compare it to cancer. I think that's an insult to people who have cancer, because people who have cancer don't get together with a fellowship and say, I don't want to suffer anymore, and they could change it. They can't. So there's a difference. Is it a disease because it does meet criteria of a disease? Yes. Is it a disease in the typical sense of a disease? Absolutely not. Here's the deal. Without help, you can't change it. That's the bottom line. Disease or not disease, I don't think it matters. And if you're going to argue about that point, maybe you ought to think about, maybe I'm asking the wrong questions.
I agree. Wait, no, I agree.
This shit's going to be so easy.
I agree. And the funny thing is, like you said, it meets criteria. So if it wasn't a disease, insurances wouldn't pay to put people in treatment for it.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
But we do have a choice. When you leave that treatment and you put down that substance that controls the disease, which is in our brain, you have a choice. And I tell that to a lot of people newly getting sober. When you leave that treatment and you pick up that drug again, that is a choice. That's not your disease that's doing that. That's you clear-minded, even with the voice in your head that we can still consider a disease, but you have a choice.
Absolutely.
So I do agree.
I love that, because so many people are like, well, your disease is just waiting for you to have a bad day. It's going to come and get you. It has never chased us. We turn to it.
Yeah.
When we're uncomfortable, when we don't like something, when we want to run away, we turn to our disease and we bury ourselves in the bottle, in the pill, in the needle. We do that. And once we're in it, then we lose control to even get out of it. Yes. But you're right. It's our choice.
I agree.
Great question. That was good. All right. I think it's a coping skill. Okay. We love you, Scott and Nicole. Stay strong. Thank you, love Karen. You. We love you too. Thanks for sharing. Congrats on 18 years. Stacy, thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. Powerful. Thanks for sharing, Scott. Okay. I'm not blowing past it like just a lot. I want to get a lot of these comments in there because we did have somebody who says, I have a question, and then we still haven't gotten to it yet. So I'm hoping it's buried in here somewhere.
Oh, did he?
Oh, Mary is with Lynn's friend. Okay. All right. Thank you, Lynn. Love this, guys.
Thanks, Diddy.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Diddy.
Now, is this the guy you were calling what?
Diddy. We call him Diddy.
Brian is Diddy?
Yeah. You know what he does for a living? You know the show Law and Order? Da-na-na.
It,
You know, is that the sound that goes
I knew
along?
it without the sound, believe it or not.
But he's not, that's a good sound.
People always have
He
to do
does
that.
that in real life.
Well, he makes
SVU?
that sound?
No.
That's why you call him Diddy? 'Cause
I make that sound.
You make that sound.
Well, the show makes that sound.
What does he do in real life?
He's SVU, Special Victims Unit,
Wow.
in New York City.
Dude.
How cool is that?
That is beyond awesome.
Oh.
That is so awesome.
Gianni's calling. Little peanut.
Okay. Makes perfect sense. Thanks to you both.
Thanks.
But what does Diddy mean, by the way? I
Just
mean,
a
there's a
nickname.
rapper like P. Diddy, right?
It's his nickname.
But Diddy is it?
I don't know. Diddy, you want to tell us?
I don't know. What does Diddy mean? Diddy, tell me. Diddy, Diddy or didn't he? I don't know. All right. I met Michael Fox, Nicole says. Wow.
Cool. Oh, she meant to write that.
Oh,
I meant.
No, wait.
Oh.
No, she goes, I met Michael J. Fox. My fault. Well, I'm not sure what she means.
I don't
All
know. I'm
right.
confused.
I agree, Scott, 100%. Oh, Emily, I'm so proud of you. You're doing so great. Keep going, girl. I get this joy, as you do, of seeing people come into recovery and then see them blossom.
It's the
And
best.
Emily's one of those people that's just so brilliant and so beautiful of spirit. I mean, you just look at her; she glows. And
Aw.
Emily, I love you, and just keep
Keep it
going,
going.
girl. Keep going. Wow, you guys are awesome. I'm trying to get to the best parts. There's so many things. These are questions I get from others. Who cares? Like you said, just get in the solution. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So she's agreeing with what we're saying. You can argue all day about whether it's a disease or not, but if you got a drink in your hand, does it even frickin' matter?
I
You're
feel like a
mess.
lot of people too. Babe, sorry. Can you answer that real quick out there? Just tell Gianni mommy's famous right now.
Oh, this is the kids calling?
Yeah, but he's probably calling to cry for me to pick him up. Yeah.
Where did you leave him? On the street corner again?
No. Daddy's house this time. Don't tell
We won't
everybody
talk
what I
about
do.
that. We won't talk about that.
CPS will get called. But when it comes to shit, we're not gonna have
It's
my
okay.
job.
We know somebody from SVU who's going to fix it for us.
Yes, Diddy!
Go Diddy!
Wait,
I hope he doesn't like flip a badge and say, hello, Diddy here.
I don't know. I hope he does. What
Diddy,
do you mean?
SVU.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Brian, you're going to kill me. I'm sorry, brother.
I feel like, and tell me if you think I'm screaming child. I feel like when people fight if it's a disease or not, they're either trying to justify it or they don't want to believe in it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're looking for loopholes.
Yeah.
When you're arguing about something, listen, if you walk out into the street and you get plowed down by a car, you really care if it's a Chevy or a Ford?
Exactly.
You're broken, you're hurt, you want to get fixed. You don't care about the details.
But if you're that car, you're gonna want to save your ass and go into all the details. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying here?
Yeah. Yeah. Because the more I can argue about something, the more I can create denial and I can
Yes.
create. So don't argue. Nicole, you're absolutely right. It
Yes.
doesn't matter. Just get the solution. Okay. That part. Amazing point, Nicole. Emily says. Very good explanation. All right. And it's a disease because if you don't get help, you will die. You know what? That's all you got to say.
Mhm.
That's all you got to say. Without help, you're in trouble. You're in
Yep.
trouble. Okay. Well, here's a long one from Tanya. I think it's like a cancer patient. The disease can come back. It could take us out of remission, but it's our responsibility to take every precaution not to relapse. Our health is our responsibility. That's correct.
So yeah, I agree with that too. I also agree with like you said though, I agree like not comparing it to each other. But I used to say, or I used to hear people say going to an NA or an AA meeting was kind of like receiving that chemo, receiving that medicine, getting what
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
in order to stay on track to, I guess, suppress that disease. If
Yeah.
that makes, you know?
It's
Hi, Tanya.
it's very much like the old Native American story about it. Within each of us exist two wolves.
Yeah.
One is dark and mean and ugly, and the other
Absolutely.
one is loving and caring. And
Yeah.
and if you want to know which one's going to win, it's all to do with which one you feed.
Yeah. Which one you choose to
You want to
feed.
feed your recovery, then you never have to worry about that.
Yep.
the big books, I mean, I don't want to go into the whole thing, but rarely have we seen a person fails thoroughly. Here's the thing. If you put your recovery first, if you put a loving heart first, if you reach out to people, you help others, and you accept help from others, you're never going to have to worry about another thing. Absolutely. That's the bottom line. And you know what? You can be happy like us.
Happy. It was like the angel.
What the hell was that? It was like, happy. Wow.
It's like the angel and devil.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the angel and devil. But you know what? They're both you.
Yeah.
It's not the devil. It's not an angel. It's you. It's your voice. The voice you hear in your head telling you to go to use, that's your voice. Yep. Change your voice. Yep. You got the power to do that. Dad has 40 years sober. Diana says, Diana Borg.
Congrats, Dad.
That's fantastic. Heck yeah, Nicole.
Love you, Tanya. See you tomorrow. Tanya works at Legacy.
Paul says, my son is a crime scene investigator at NYPD.
I love that.
Wow. Dudes, you ever want to go back up to New York? We could break laws all day. We got people like to cover for us.
His
Paul's
son.
That's right.
Where were they when I was breaking the laws?
Katie, Caitlin.
Kate, hi, Kate.
Wow.
Kate's one of my best friends.
Love you, bestie. She just throws that in there. Emily sharing, I love you too, Scott. You made me tear up. I wasn't trying to make you cry, darling. I just want you to know that what you're doing has meaning and purpose, and I love you to death. I hope you're going to be okay. If I have cancer and didn't take my chemo, I wouldn't recover. So now with my addiction, if I don't take my meds of meats, fellowship, and the steps, I wouldn't recover. Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't take the steps that work for you. Again, everybody's steps might be slightly different, but the tools are all the same. The tools are about change. The tools are about fellowship and friendship. And it's really about learning to love yourself.
Agreed.
Emily, 2 years sober, almost. Yes.
That's amazing, Emily.
Emily, congratulations, Emily, one day at a time. You guys, thank you so much for all of this. This is incredible. Great analogy. I'm not sure which one it was, but it's probably hers. So they're good. Go for it.
Great. We're great.
It's Therese. Off topic. Who is needier when sick, men or women? This is Therese. This is my best friend in the world. Mm-hmm. We were together for a lot of years, lived together, but she's my best friend in the world. And I love her to death. I'm hoping I'm going to get to see her soon. She's up in New York. Off topic. Who's needier when sick, men or women? I got to go with men. I mean, guys, I know you're going to be mad at me for saying it, but we know we become king baby when we're sick. And even when we're saying, leave me alone, just leave me alone, all we're thinking is bring me a hot towel and some chicken soup and rub my head and rub my belly. That's what we're thinking. Mm. And that's the truth. I'm sorry, I got to go with it.
So I guess I disagree. Only because of personal experience, right? Okay. Once again, my experience. I am the biggest baby when I'm sick. Like even a tummy ache. I'm a baby.
Really?
Anthony, on the other hand, is a champ when he's sick.
Anthony looks like you got to cut a limb off before he'll go to a doctor. Unless there's like a bloody stump, he's fine, right? Well,
that's who I only have to compare it to, and he's great when he's sick. But I am 32 going on 33, and I still want my mommy when I'm sick.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have known men who become big babies when they're sick. So
I know women who get like kind of bitchy when they get sick. Like, all of a sudden, as soon as they're sick, you're thinking there's never going to every step I make in the house is going to be wrong until she feels better.
I can get like that too.
Do you get like that?
Yeah, but not just when I'm sick.
Okay.
Right, babe?
I think the biggest problem is, I don't know about women, but I know men, it's like, well, why don't you take a hot shower? You'll feel better. You're like, no, I don't want to. We don't do the things to make ourselves feel better.
Stubborn.
Because stubborn is true.
Yes.
We'll go with that.
Yeah,
stubborn
that I'll agree with.
Yeah.
From my experience.
Don't tell me to take that and I'll feel better.
Yeah. I'm like that too, though. When I'm sick, Anthony will say, why don't you take something to feel better? And I'll say, oh, I don't feel good. And he has to like force feed me medicine.
I think part of us wants to revert back to that helpless little.
Yeah, to feel loved sometimes.
I want somebody to take care of me.
Yeah.
Please.
Even when I'm not sick.
So I don't know how we answered that. I guess we're disagreeing. We're saying it all depends on the people.
Yeah.
But it's both. Great question, Therese. Thank you.
That was a fun one.
That was a fun one. You have to hit rock bottom and you have to want to get clean. I've tried so many times to help a friend go to AA and we lost him. I'm going to disagree with that statement.
Yes, I know why you are.
I believe hitting bottom is
dead.
There's one bottom. People die. People don't get off an elevator because they don't like the way it looks in the elevator. They get off the elevator because they see a floor that looks better than where they are. What we're not doing, and this is just me, and I'm not trying to disagree with you, but I've lost a lot of friends too. What we're not doing is we're not showing enough about what their life could be. We're spending too much time talking about how bad their life is. No matter how many times you tell somebody how bad things are, they are used to it. They live in the muck and the mire and the pain and the filth, and they live in it, and it becomes their home.
Yep.
Describing their pain doesn't help them. Describing what it feels like not to have pain, that's where we've been missing the boat. So I don't believe there's anything about bottoms that we should be talking about. I think what we should be talking about is we haven't found the way to motivate this person. We haven't found the right carrot. We haven't found that. And never give up. Never, ever give up. But God bless you. I understand exactly what you're saying. But just remember, hitting bottom, we're putting the expectation that somebody's going to all of a sudden wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to change my life. Nobody does that. They do it because of something sparks inside of them that somebody else gave them. It has to come from somewhere else. Addiction is an island. If it ain't there, it ain't going to just pop up and grow there. You got to bring it. Somebody's got to bring it to you. So you got to bring hope. You got to bring faith. You got to bring charity and bring love. That's how we're going to change things. I know that was a little preachy. I apologize.
No, it's all right. I agree. So I agree when I heard you, because I heard you share that when I came to get trained to be an interventionist. And I heard you share that rock bottom is death. And it did flip my perspective. And I agree with that. But what I will say is I also do agree that the person has to want it. So you can feed me all the hope. You could feed me the promises, the joy, the freedom. You could tell me all that. But until I've hit my, I guess, gift of desperation, where I'm in so much fucking pain, that's when I decided to grab that hope or grab that joy or grab that carrot, like you said. Because it was given to me for a while, but my pain wasn't great enough yet.
So there's a combination of the two things.
Yeah.
The combination of the two things. We'll go with that. I like that.
That's a good one.
All right. That was excellent. Yes, it's hard. It is hard. Let's see. Karen, I'm so glad you guys are doing this podcast together. It's going to be amazing. Congratulations, you two. Yay. I don't know. We're actually 48 minutes into our first podcast ever. How do you think it's going?
I think it's going great.
I got a good feeling. We're actually going to have to wrap up in a few minutes here, but I hope you guys agree that this is stuff that we can do. We can still have fun. Yeah. We could talk about this serious stuff. We could talk about change. We could talk about embracing a better way of life, but we could laugh all the way through it. I mean, we had 4.5 snorts and a couple of good chuckles. That's pretty good.
And only one disagree, right?
Only one disagree, but it wasn't even that much of a disagree.
Yeah. It wasn't.
How can we help people? Ignore the stigma around seeking help for addiction or any other mental wellness issues they are dealing with. Yeah, I mean, we've got to get past the stigma. That's true. How do we help people? Get involved in their lives. Don't walk away. Just because a conversation goes south, you know what happens is people approach people with a problem. They say, I want to help you. Here's what you're going to do. And the people say, screw you. No, I'm not doing it. And then we walk away. We give up.
We don't take it personal.
Because it gets hard. Yeah. Because we take it personal because it gets hard and we give up. The thing is, stop giving up. Do you know a drowning man? If somebody is drowning, they will reach a point of desperation where even when the rescuer jumps in the water and grabs them, they will swing at the rescuer. They will try to fight against the people saving them because they are confused. They're in a bad place. And these guys, these Coast Guard people, by the way, Coast Guard, some of the greatest people on the planet. These Coast Guard people got to take a punch so they can save a life. And they don't just give up. Maybe we got to stop giving up on people.
I agree.
Maybe that's what we need to do. And no, there should not be a stigma about it. Shit, you can't get a good movie role in Hollywood without going to 3 rehabs first. I mean, it's popular now.
Yep.
You know what? You're a regular. You've never had an addiction. What the hell's wrong with you? You know, everybody's got something.
And I think the more I know for me, when it comes to breaking the stigma, a lot of you guys that do follow me on TikTok and now this podcast know I break it by sharing my story. I break it by sharing the ugly truth that goes along with my addiction. You know, when I share about my addiction, I talk about even before the drugs. I talk about being molested. I talk about being in an abusive relationship. And then with the drugs, I talk about the things that I had to do to get the next one. I talk about it, and I talk about it so openly and freely to let that person know who's scared to talk about it, that it's okay. It's okay to talk about it. Who cares that there's a stigma? Who cares what other people think or believe about it, right? It's going to save your ass by talking about it. So I think that's another way to break the stigma, is just, if you are in recovery, is to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Don't hide it.
Absolutely. That's excellent. Excellent. Excuse me. Tanya says, love you. So proud of both of you. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Tanya.
I have a sister with addiction. How can I get her help without her feeling attacked by me? Whenever it's a family member, you definitely want to get outside help. When it's your sister, you're always going to be the sister, and dealing with her on that level that you have to deal with her on that very raw human level where you're kind of face to face with the disease, you need help with that. There's a lot of places you can call, you can reach out. Listen, you can reach out on this Facebook page to myself or Nicole. We can put you in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
We have Addiction Training Center right here, but might as well tell you real quick. Our two sponsors, Addiction Training Center, which is my company, and we train people to deal with addictions, with interventions.
Stuff like that.
We have
literally.
a nonprofit where we're helping first responders deal with trauma and addictions and mental health issues. But the one thing I can tell you is, when it's a family member, you need outside help. You're too close to it.
Yep.
My daughter was sick at one point. Thank God she's clean and sober today, but she's not clean and sober because I helped her. She's clean and sober because I got out of the way, brought her to someone else who could help her. So if you need help with that, Addiction Training Center, you can reach out to us. We're everywhere, atceducation.com. But we also have, from Nicole's end, another sponsor that's bringing us this show, which is Legacy Healing Center. Yep. And Legacy is the same place. You can get answers for those kind of questions, right?
Absolutely. Legacy Healing Center is a behavioral health facility for substance abuse and mental health. And with situations like that, we do have certified interventionists, thanks to Scott and Karen, on our team that you can utilize in regards to helping your sister. And then there is a treatment center that, if they have the means, whether it's the insurance or if it's a self-pay, we take them. And if Legacy does not, one thing I do want to put out there is that we have a business development team that will place whoever it is. If Legacy is not the fit for them, we don't just hang up the phone and give up. We do find a place for them to go no matter what.
So there's a lot of different avenues to get help. Again, you can give us a call. Call Karen, my business partner, our friend, at 786-514-0893. 786-514-0893 if you want some help dealing with your sister or anybody who's got an addiction. What I will tell you is this, and I think Nicole will agree with me on this: knowing it today and dealing with it tomorrow is not a good formula for addiction. Mm-hmm. If you know it today, deal with it today, because there might not be a tomorrow to do.
Nope. I agree.
All right. And definitely check out Legacy. Great people over there. So many nice. I did the show with, who's the guy, Mike?
Yeah.
He was great.
Mikey's so great.
He was great.
He's so great.
He ain't you, but he's good.
He's not me.
No.
Nobody's me except for me.
Nicole's amazing. Always a solid voice.
Oh, Mary.
That's
Love you,
terrific.
Mary.
My husband said EMDR therapy changed his life. What are your thoughts about EMDR therapy? He used to get this through the loss of his twin brother. This to get through the loss of his identical twin brother. EMDR therapy, are you familiar?
Yes. So I have personal experience with it. I think it's great. I do believe there's other forms of therapy also, like CBT, or what we utilize also at Legacy, Brain Map. There's another therapy called, I heard about it today, ETT. Any type of therapy that is going to dissect into that trauma that we talked about at the beginning of this podcast is an excellent tool. Now, for me personally, it was just something to help me in my recovery journey. It's not what helps me stay clean daily. Because once again, I have this disease, right? I have the angel and devil that when I am not feeding the angel consistently on a daily basis, that devil does start to sound really good. So EMDR is a good tool when you're in recovery to just do more of that inner child, to learn more about yourself, to process it. But I personally believe staying in recovery has to be there has to be some type of daily reprieve to your recovery.
Absolutely. EMDR is a great way to deal with individual traumas. Eye movement desensitization recovery. It was created by Dr. Shapiro years ago. But the cool thing about EMDR is that our traumas are stored in different parts of our brain. Because you see something, it'll remind you of a trauma. Then you smell something, it'll remind you of the same trauma. Well, your sight and your olfactory are in two different parts of your brain, which means your trauma is connected to all these different parts of your brain. Just talking about it only releases it from one part. But when you use things like eye movement and certain therapies that are used in EMDR, including there's rhythmic things and there's different things that go on, it's got a way of releasing it from all those areas. So it no longer is like hiding in the corner waiting for you.
Yep.
But the real key to that is deal with your major traumas, but then follow it up with a good living program about dealing with everyday life and everyday emotions. And even it doesn't change the memory. The memory is still there of the trauma. So now what do you do with that? How do you turn that into a strength? How do you turn that into something to build upon?
Yeah.
So you need to continue on. EMDR is an excellent, among the many other things that people can do. It's amazing what we know today, people. Let's see. Linda says men. Paul said men. I think they're all the way back at the sick thing. We actually have fallen so far behind, and I'm going to see if there's any more questions. Okay, Emily's sharing. You're so right, Nicole. People told me I needed help for a long time, but I was too stubborn, and life hadn't derailed far enough for me to push to seek it out myself. You have to wake up one day, and life is so unbearable that you say enough is enough.
Yep, sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Absolutely. Nicole saying, don't you think sometimes we have to walk away? Tough love. I feel God will be putting someone in your life. Sometimes it takes many times to hear the message, and then it clicks. I don't believe in walking away. I don't believe in standing there and being stubborn. I believe walking, if I can't deal with the situation, I'll find someone else who can. But to walk away and to leave somebody's drowning, and if I'm not the one who can reach into the water, I got to go find somebody else who can. I don't believe you walk away and say, well, if God wants them to be saved, he'll be saved. It's not a thing I could follow. But I know I can't be the one to help everybody. So I've got to find others. That's why we do courses, so we can have more people helping people.
I agree.
And more chances. Wow. Fabulous. This
is great.
I know.
I can't wait for 2 weeks from now.
This is amazing. Studies show from Dr. Amen at the Amen Institute says that many people in recovery had traumatic brain injuries. Absolutely. Have you had a brain injury?
No.
Are you sure? The snort?
Yeah.
I'm just saying it could be a sign.
Brain injury? Well, that's good to know. I've never had one yet, knock on wood.
Well, have you ever passed out or blacked out?
Yeah.
That's a brain injury.
Is it?
Yes. Think about it that way. I mean, your brain shut down
I've had plenty.
In the most unnatural way possible.
Yeah.
Think about a blackout when you function for hours and do things, but your brain does not record it. There's an injury there.
There you go. Okay, so yeah, I take that back.
All of us out there, if you've been involved with alcohol and drugs, you've rewired your brain. It's an injury. It's not the way it's supposed to be. And sometimes your blackouts in passing out from addiction, it's like getting punched by Mike Tyson.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. But you don't get the funny little voice. You don't get the funny little.
I've had brain injuries. There you go.
All right. You know what? Great show, guys, but have to run. We have to run too.
Yes. We do. This is so great.
Are you happy?
I'm so happy. Are you happy?
I'm thrilled.
I'm so happy.
I'm thrilled. This show is really about whatever you guys want it to be about. We've got our agenda is that people find a way to get better no matter what their circumstance, and laugh a little bit and have some fun. I mean, he said, she said, it's not about either of us being right. It's about just having different perspectives on things
and having fun with it.
I want to thank everybody for joining us. Stacy, she says this was awesome.
Thanks, Stace.
Most of my 20s was a traumatic brain injury.
Same, Tanya. Well, most of my teens. I got clean when I was 22. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So shit was real bad before that. But I agree. I identify.
It's not about the time out there. It's about what the time you spent out there did to you.
To you.
Exactly. I mean, I know people that were completely shot out 1 month after they picked up their first drug. And I know people that used for 20 years looks like they didn't use a day in their life. There's no rhyme or reason. That's one of the hardest things to figure out. Why does it affect some people different than others?
Yeah.
Does that ever puzzle you sometimes?
It used to, but just like we said before with the disease, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you're in pain, stop the pain.
But it used to. Or how come one drug does, I was able to do heroin for years. And then the second I picked up a crack stem, it took me 5 months until I finally got into recovery,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. The truth is we're here now. I'm pleased. You're like one of my new best friends and I love it.
I love it too.
You're awesome.
So are you.
And the people that you brought with us and then my people joining in and have now become one big family. He said, she said, podcast family. Yep. And we got, this one doesn't count. You two are awesome, but that's my mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Let's see. Thanks. This was great. You guys are great. Laura Kennedy, all you guys.
Hi.
Yeah.
Laura's my
Nicole, thank you. Nicole, thank you for all your great questions.
Yes.
Again, congratulations on your recovery time and just keep up the fight with us. Listen, the more people we have out there talking about this openly and even just kind of destigmatizing all of this, the better things are going to be.
So somebody asked, how do we break the stigma, right? Next time. And once again, when I do endorse something, it's for a purpose. So if you guys absolutely loved this show, please spread it around, repost it on your social media, go on the YouTube channel and repost that after this show, right? Because it gets saved.
Yes.
Repost away, because then it just spreads the message about addiction and recovery. And you put it out there to enough people see it. That's another way to break the stigma. Share it
with your friends, talk about it. We really appreciate all you guys out there and everything you do. And we will be back on the 4th, May the 4th.
Be with you. It's from Harry Potter.
It's Star Wars. Oh my God. Wow.
I knew that. May the 4th be with you. That's a cool date. That's like some God moment stuff. That's a cool date.
My grandson is scheduled to be born on May 5th. Oh. It is quite possible that we could be in the middle of a show when my grandson's born.
That would be so great.
That would be so cool.
Oh my God.
I wonder if I can get my daughter to call in while it's happening.
FaceTime.
Well, that would be really, that'd be weird.
No. That'd be weird. I can't do that.
I want to thank everybody for joining us, all of you. I don't have enough time to go through all your names. It'd be like a romper room from hell saying everybody's name. But we love you. We're glad you joined us. And again, catch us right here, right back here. Oh, wait, is this a family member? Teresa Filippo?
Oh, my mom. Mom. My mom's on now, too. Mom.
We got both our moms on here.
Definition of crazy
is making the same mistakes and expecting different results. Exactly.
Thanks, Mom.
It's a mom thing. Mom. All right.
Is she trying to tell me I'm crazy?
I don't know, but just letting my mom out there know. Don't worry, I wore clean underwear today, so we're good to go. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is He Said, She Said with Scott and Nicole. Nicole, any final words?
I love you guys. Thanks for the support. Thanks for having fun with us tonight. This was absolutely amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you all so much. And remember, if you have somebody in your life or yourself who is struggling with mental health, addiction, or any other disorder or problem that is keeping you buried, don't wait until tomorrow to ask for help. Ask for help today. Reach out to us, Addiction Training Center, Legacy Healing Center, or just reach out to Nicole or I on social media, and we'll be there for you, okay? But don't wait. We want to make sure nobody should ever have to die again. We're doing our best.
Absolutely. Should we high five?
We're going to high five one more time.
End it.
There we go.